Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show, and I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved awakener, awakened one, beloved heart. I'm Monica Bermudez, your host for Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human podcast. So, because we're in celebration of Easter in some areas, in some religions, I felt there was this collective message that wanted to come through. The symbolism of Easter is about resurrection. So, I want to talk about the definition of it, and also in relation to these new earth frequency energies that we find ourselves in the mix of, with a lot of astrological events, a lot of also like energies that are coming in from the sun as well, a lot of cosmic activation going on everywhere. So resurrection, by the definition of the dictionary, says the rising of Christ from the dead and the state of one risen from the dead. So with these new frequencies of energies that we're in right now, in order to rise or be rebirthed, there has to be a form of death. And I'm not necessarily talking about a physical death. There is all forms of ego death going on right now. And death, by definition, means a transitional state, a transformation, an alchemy. And so many phrases for it. And so we are definitely going through an alchemical process right now because of the solar flares, the big solar flares for the Easter weekend. Then we had some for the lunar eclipse, that we had some X class, which is supposedly one of the biggest class according to NASA. And these are like very explosions of bursts of energy from the sun itself that does impact our Earth's atmosphere. And there was one that just occurred on March 28th that pretty much blacked out some of the radio in the Pacific Ocean. And then we've been having like CMEs, which is another level of bursts of solar flares going on. And as such, when these solar flares come at a very accelerated rate, it also impacts a lot of the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the Earth coming from the center of Earth. So that is our balancing state, our balancing point. And it does connect to our heart center as well. And so being, the hub for all of us, we're also receiving all of these energies. And so is Earth. So in some ways, it can cause geomagnetic storms on the surface of the Earth, but it can also cause these kind of storms within ourselves because it does impact every single one of our cells that are connected to our own consciousness. And that is connected to our Christ consciousness. So we are the second wave of the Christ consciousness on this earth. So this is a return of the Christ, but that is the return within yourself. And so that's why so many right now are having like this very much this ego death going on. And I personally was feeling something earlier where I feel the ego the most, where I feel like there could be more energy attached around it, is through the solar plexus. The solar plexus is our power center within us. And it's been sabotaged so many times because either we've abused the power ourselves, of our own spiritual divine gifts that we hold, or we have been abused in these other past lifetimes from others who have taken advantage. So it goes both ways, right? And it's not to fall into the victim trap. But so a lot is being released, and so appropriate because the solar plexus, I see it as it's like a sun. So, it has that very yellow, powerful energy. So every time we go through these solar flares, I can feel that there's something being released there as well. And so I was almost not feeling well enough to come and record this episode, but I really felt that this was a very important message for the collective, for all of us, because the return of Christ, the resurrection, is you. And so the layers of the awakening, the layers of the ascension, which is all an expansiveness of us, an expansiveness of our consciousness. And as we begin to expand more so our consciousness, so does our perception. And so we start to tap in more into our divine essence of our own soul within us and activate our DNA in other dormant DNA aspects that are holding our greatest gifts. And one of those is our own abundance, our prosperity, but also those gifts of intuition, of a deeper, clearer channel to our own divine source. And so the Christ consciousness, which is, of this Christ energy, which is what Cosmic Master Jesus was the name in human form when he lived during that time, who was an ascended master and a cosmic master, who was able to demonstrate to all of us a way to also hold that Christ consciousness within us. And so we are the ones holding that energy. And so there is, also this divine feminine Christ energy that is also resurfacing from all of this. So I have mentioned divine feminine is in all of us, and so is divine masculine. And so the divine masculine, which is burst out of the renewed, in other words, out of the divine feminine, this Christ consciousness is holding this Christ feminine energy that is coming in very strong. And so it's almost like we have to release the old layers of us, of our old identity, how we identified ourselves, and be able to birth the new divine Christ consciousness, divine feminine Christ consciousness out of us as well, or emanate, in other words, from us. And the solar eclipse, which is the total solar eclipse that we're all building the energies right now, are really boiling. And that's why we have like so many solar flares and also the Schumann resonance. And on top of that, these big eclipse energies that are building up. And so that is producing this wave of astrological event because the eclipse is about a death and a rebirth going on within ourselves. And the eclipse is also like a personal outage is, can also give rise to the dark night of the soul, which I talked about in a previous episode. And so there's a lot of activation and triggering going on with this eclipse. And we're going to have some other ones throughout the year as well for 2024. And so what, and triggering is the same as activation. So we're definitely getting our DNA triggered to be activated. And also like healing other areas and releasing and purging a lot of things. So when I was really feeling like sick from my stomach, because that's where, our solar plexus is, I was really feeling like this really dark energy that had been there probably for eons that was just starting to purge. So I just stayed with it. And the more that I stayed with it, it was able to accelerate and go through me to be able to purge and release. And I also just took a break and a lot of rest with that, along with that. And so that when it eventually was completely out of my system, then I felt much better, much lighter, because that's really what we're receiving right now. It's a lot of light codes of these 5D new energies, new frequencies, and they all contain this Christ consciousness energy. So we are definitely going through a rebirth right now of some form. And that's what a lot of 2024 is doing, is going through a lot of changes. We're going through some major transformational changes right now with these eclipses and other astrological events as well. And also with the sun and the solar flares, sun activities, the Schumann resonance, the heartbeat of the earth. We're all interconnected in this universe because we are all a mini universe. And so we house all of these energies. And so that's why, I did the previous episode also about the sacred temple. We hold all of this. And so it is so important right now to really listen to our body, to what it's asking for, and get the rest that you're needed if that's what it's asking for. And just, be aware of certain things that are coming up right now that are being purged, and just be with that energy and really tap into your own heart of that Christ consciousness energy, and really just set the intention on it to really help ease that transformational state that you're going through right now, or that transfiguration that we're all going through, and going through these, major changes, and just try to, do the best you can as they come, as these new energies come through us. So let us all rise and be resurrected once again to our divine glory of who we are. We are the second coming of the Christ. We are the saviors. We are the ones who are here to help this whole planet to transform and shift the way showers and those light bearers, the star seeds, however you want to phrase it. But we are making a difference, each one of us, by being here on this planet at this time and doing the work of, the work that you're called to do right now through your own heart. So listening to that calling and really just, being with it and giving yourself plenty of self-care and self-love as well with all of these changes. So I will see you on the new earth and catch you in another episode. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.